My name is Katie Morgan, and I'm 32 years old, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving last year. My phone rang in my downtown Seattle apartment. It was Mom, her voice unusually soft and hesitant. Katie, honey, about Thanksgiving this year, don't come. I gripped the phone tighter, but before I could respond, my sister's voice cut in from the background, sharp and final. We'll pretend you're a stranger if you show up anyway. The words landed like a setup I couldn't ignore. They were choosing my ex, the guy who'd betrayed me multiple times, over their own daughter because he'd charmed them with loans for Dad's business and help during Mom's surgery. He painted me as the problem. Too focused on my tech sales job to commit. I didn't yell or beg. Instead, I just said, "Okay, enjoy your party," and hung up with a cold smile they couldn't see. But that call was the trigger. I'd known for weeks about my sister's hidden betrayal, something she'd confessed in a panic, begging me to keep quiet. And now they thought sidelining me would keep their perfect holiday intact. They had no idea what was coming, the exposure that would unravel their lies, turn their gathering into chaos, and leave them scrambling with regrets they couldn't escape. If only they knew how one simple share could flip everything, forcing the truth out in ways no one expected. If your family's lost trust in you, what would you do next? Let me know where you're seeing this. I want to find out how far this story's spread. The fallout hit like a storm rolling in from the Puget Sound, within hours of the party ending. Screenshots from Nathan's discovery started popping up in local Seattle groups. Anonymous posts tagging the affair between Jamie and her old boss, Tyler Brooks. People shared and commented, turning our family's dirty laundry into viral fodder. Dad's business page got flooded with questions about his untrustworthy daughter, and neighbors in Tacoma whispered at the grocery store. Aunt Christina was the first to crack. She messaged the family chat late that night, attaching clips from the app I'd sent her, demanding to know why they'd iced me out for Justin Lee, my ex who'd played the hero. "This isn't family," she wrote, her words sparking arguments that lit up my phone screen. Mom tried calling me twice, her voice breaking as she asked if I'd seen the posts, but I let it go to voicemail, staring out at the rainy city lights from my downtown balcony. Jamie's world crumbled fastest. By morning, her boss at the retail chain had called her in, citing distractions affecting performance code for the scandal blowing up online. She got let go that afternoon. No severance. Just a box of her things and a warning about references. She texted me furiously, blaming the leak on hackers. But I knew she suspected me. Dad followed up with a voicemail, his tone desperate, saying the loans Justin had co-signed were now at risk because clients pulled out over the drama. Justin vanished from view. His LinkedIn profile went dark. And whispers from mutual contacts in the tech scene said his sales team at the startup had sidelined him, reputation tarnished by association with the mess. Colleagues shared memes in private chats, calling him the family wrecker. He didn't dare reach out yet, probably hiding in some suburb, sweating over the exposure. I sat in my apartment, sipping black coffee as the rain pelted the windows, scrolling through the chaos without a word. The satisfaction was quiet but sharp, watching their perfect facade crack under the weight of truths they'd buried. No more pretending the unraveling had just begun, and I wasn't lifting a finger to stop it. It all started 3 weeks earlier with a forgotten phone. Jamie had left her old device at my place after a tense family dinner in Tacoma, claiming she'd upgrade soon. I picked it up to charge, but curiosity got the better of me when notifications pinged from hidden apps. Swiping through, I found a locked folder. Her passcode was our childhood dog's birthday. Easy guess. Inside were damning clips, private video calls with Tyler Brooks, her former boss at the retail firm. Their faces close in late-night screens, whispers turning intimate. Timestamps showed overlaps with her dates with Nathan Wright. Her steady boyfriend who'd talked marriage. Mixed in were text threads. Flirty at first, then explicit about meetings in hotel lobbies downtown. One message from Tyler read, "Can't wait for our next overtime, delete this." Jamie's replies confirmed the timeline, 3 months of secrets she'd hidden while preaching family loyalty. Shock hit hard, but I kept scrolling, piecing it together. She'd confessed bits to me once, drunk and tearful, swearing it was a mistake and begging silence because Nathan valued honesty above all. Now the full scope stared back screenshots she'd saved as leverage, perhaps, or reminders. I transferred everything to my secure drive, hands steady despite the betrayal boiling inside. Alicia Grant stepped in right then, my colleague from the tech sales team. She'd noticed my distraction at work the next day and pulled me aside during lunch. "Whatever's eating you, don't lash out blind," she said, her voice firm over cafeteria noise. "Gather facts, then strike smart. I've seen enough office dramas to know rushing blows up in your face." Her advice clicked. She knew apps like the back of her hand from our projects. From there, resolve built fast. No more pleading with family who'd picked Justin over me. I'd prove their blindness, show how deep the deceptions ran. The pieces aligned in my mind use the evidence, time it right, let it unfold without fingerprints. Their choice to exclude me would cost them everything they valued. The plan came together fast. After finding Jamie's secrets, I spent nights in my Seattle apartment building an app called Family Memories, a simple interface to share old photos and clips. Hidden in the code was a private link to the damning video call and texts between Jamie and Tyler Brooks, buried among innocent shots from past barbecues. I sent the link to my cousin Shannon Morgan and Aunt Christina Morgan, knowing they'd share it at the Thanksgiving party in Tacoma. "Just some old memories to spark nostalgia," I texted, keeping my tone light. Thanksgiving night arrived, rain hammering the roof of Mom and Dad's house. The party was packed relatives, neighbors, and Nathan Wright, Jamie's boyfriend, all gathered around a table heavy with turkey and pie. Aunt Christina, always eager to show off photos, opened the app on her tablet, passing it around. Shannon scrolled through, chuckling at old clips, then handed it to Nathan, who was sipping a beer by the fireplace. My colleague, Alicia Grant, who'd helped me test the app, joined the party via video call, pretending to share live memories from her own phone. Nathan's face changed when the screen flickered to Jamie's late-night call with Tyler. His jaw tightened as he zoomed in. The audio faint but clear Jamie's laugh, Tyler's suggestive tone. The room went still, conversations fading under the patter of rain outside. "Jamie, what's this?" Nathan asked, his voice low but sharp, holding up the tablet. Jamie froze, her wineglass trembling as eyes turned to her. She stammered, "It's not what it looks like, someone edited that." But Nathan pressed play again, louder now, the timestamps undeniable. The argument spilled outside to the porch, rain soaking their clothes as Nathan demanded answers. "You lied about your past," he said, voice breaking. I was going to propose. He walked out, leaving Jamie shouting after him, her denials drowned by the storm. Inside, whispers spread, relatives piecing together why I wasn't there. Jamie's glare landed on Aunt Christina, but she knew I'd set the trap. The party collapsed in awkward silence, plates untouched. The truth spread like wildfire, days after the Tacoma party. Posts about Jamie's affair flooded Seattle and Tacoma community groups, with screenshots shared from the app I'd rigged. Neighbors tagged Mom and Dad's business, questioning their judgment for backing Justin Lee, my ex, over me. Relatives unfollowed their socials, and local clients canceled meetings, citing trust issues. Aunt Christina kept the heat on, posting in the family chat, Why'd you cut Katie out for a liar? Her words stirred doubts, splitting loyalties. Dad tried reaching me first. His call came early one morning, his voice shaky as he mentioned the online backlash hitting his construction firm. Katie, we didn't know the whole story, he said, but I cut him off, my tone flat. You chose him. Dad, live with it. I hung up, staring at my phone, the silence heavy but satisfying. Mom's texts followed, pleading for a talk, but I left them unread, my focus on the unraveling chaos. Then Justin called from a burner number, his confidence gone. Katie, you're destroying everything, he said, voice cracking as he admitted spinning lies about my work obsession to win Mom and Dad's trust. I recorded every word. His confession clear, he'd painted me as the problem to secure his place in their circle. You thought you'd erase me, I said, keeping my voice steady. Guess who's exposed now? I sent the audio to Aunt Christina, who shared it in the group chat, sealing his fate. By the next day, Justin's name was mud in the tech scene. His startup colleagues distanced themselves, and a client leak confirmed he'd lost his sales lead role, too much baggage for their brand. He packed up and left Seattle. No goodbye, just whispers of his exit. The family chat stayed quiet, no one defending him anymore. I leaned back in my chair, watching the city skyline, knowing their world was cracking without a single apology from me. Jamie showed up unannounced, early January, just past New Year. She stood at my downtown Seattle apartment door, eyes red and hair a mess, clutching a scarf against the chill. Katie, please, I need you, she begged, her voice raw from crying. I let her in, not because I cared, but because I wanted her to face what she'd done. She collapsed onto my couch, words tumbling out. Nathan won't even text me back. He's done, planning to marry someone else. I lost my job. My life's falling apart. You have to help me fix this. Her desperation was palpable, but it stirred nothing in me. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed, watching her unravel. Help you, I said, my tone sharp and even. You told me to stay away from Thanksgiving, said you'd treat me like a stranger. You backed Justin, knowing he'd lied about me. Why should I lift a finger for you now? Jamie's face crumpled, but she pushed back, voice rising. You leaked those videos? You knew Nathan would see them. You ruined everything. I stepped closer, unflinching. No, Jamie, you ruined your own life. You hid your affair with Tyler Brooks, lied to Nathan about your past, and thought you could erase me to protect your secrets. I just made sure the truth came out. Her eyes flashed with anger, but I didn't stop. You chose a liar over your sister. That's on you. She stood, shaking, pointing at me. You're heartless. I'm your sister, and you're enjoying this. I held her gaze, voice steady. You're not my sister anymore. You said we're strangers, so let's keep it that way. The words cut deep, and she froze, tears spilling. Alicia Grant, who'd stopped by to check on me, overheard from the hallway and nodded silently, her presence a quiet anchor. Jamie grabbed her scarf, stammering, You'll regret this. Katie, we could have fixed things. I opened the door, rain tapping the windows outside. No, Jamie, you don't fix betrayal by begging. You live with it. She left without another word, her footsteps fading down the hall. Alicia stepped inside, placing a hand on my shoulder. You did what you had to. Now focus on you. I nodded, feeling the weight of my choice settle cold. Final. And right. The dust settled, but the damage was permanent. Jamie's life kept spiraling after our confrontation. By mid-January, Nathan Wright had moved on, posting photos with his new fiancée, a barista from Capitol Hill, on social media. Jamie stalked his profiles obsessively, Her texts to mutual friends growing frantic. But he'd blocked her completely. Her retail job loss wasn't the end, her performance issues lingered. And no Seattle hiring manager would touch her resume after the scandal tainted her name. She moved back to Mom and Dad's Tacoma house, a shadow of her former self, venting in late-night posts that earned pity but no replies. Mom and Dad faced their own reckoning. Their construction firm bled clients faster than they could replace them. Local businesses shunned them after the online backlash tied their name to Jamie's affair. Neighbors stopped inviting them to block parties. And their church group chats went silent when Mom tried to explain. Dad called me one evening, his voice heavy with regret. "Katie, we made a mistake siding with Justin," he admitted, pausing as if expecting forgiveness. I stayed silent, then said, "You chose him over me. That's not something you fix with a call." I ended the call, my resolve unshaken. Aunt Christina Morgan kept pushing the family to face their errors, her messages blunt in group texts. "You turned your back on Katie for a con man," she wrote, and most relatives agreed, unfriending Mom and Dad online. Their social circle shrank to nothing, their Tacoma reputation in tatters. Justin Lee, already gone from Seattle, surfaced briefly in Portland job listings, but no tech firm hired him. His name was poison after the leaked audio exposed his lies. Alicia Grant became my rock, over coffee at a downtown cafe. She listened as I processed the fallout. "You're stronger for this," she said, her voice steady. "They lost you because they didn't value you. Build your life without them." Her words hit home, and I started focusing on my tech sales career, pitching new clients with a confidence I hadn't felt in months. The emptiness of cutting ties lingered, but so did a quiet pride I'd stood my ground. No compromises. Their world had collapsed under the weight of their own choices, and I was done carrying their burdens. I drew the line for good. By late January, I blocked Mom, Dad, and Jamie on every platform: phone, social media, even email. Their messages stopped coming, and I felt a quiet freedom in the silence. No more guilt trips, no more excuses. I'd given them chances they'd thrown away when they chose Justin Lee over me. Jamie's downward spiral didn't slow. Friends from Tacoma shared that she'd grown withdrawn. Her social media filled with vague posts about betrayal that got no likes. A mutual contact mentioned she'd sought therapy for depression. But job interviews kept falling through. Her name was still toxic in Seattle's retail circles. Nathan Wright married his fiancée in a small courthouse ceremony. Photos showing him smiling in a way Jamie never deserved. She'd lost her future, and I felt no pity. Mom and Dad's world shrank further. Their construction firm folded after losing its last major contract, forcing them to sell their Tacoma house at a loss. They moved to a small apartment, cut off from their old community neighbors, and church friends had iced them out. Tired of the drama, Aunt Christina Morgan told me Dad tried calling her once, asking if I'd ever soften, but she shut him down. "You made your bed," she said. And that was that. Justin Lee stayed gone. Rumors placed him in Portland, scraping by on freelance gigs. His tech career dead after the audio leak branded him untrustworthy. No one in Seattle's startup scene mentioned him anymore. His name erased like he'd never existed. I leaned into my life. Stronger. Alicia Grant and I pitched a new client at work, landing a deal that boosted my reputation in tech sales. Nights were mine again, spent exploring Seattle's coffee shops or hiking with colleagues. Building a circle that valued me, the ache of losing family lingered. But it was overshadowed by a truth I'd learned the hard way. Self-respect trumps loyalty to those who betray you. In America, you can walk away from a toxic family and still thrive, set boundaries, and the world opens up. I'd chosen myself. And that was enough.